I want you to snap, not the regular snap that you see that everybody's falling out about, but I want you to snap. I want you to be prepared. When panic hits, I want you to be prepared, not do the regular snap that everybody's talking about doing. When we talk about SNAP, survival needs and preparedness. SNAP, survival needs and preparedness is what you need to be focused on. So I'm going to go take a little trip back down memory lane. People thought that preppers were cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. When we would talk about putting food away, being prepared for emergencies, I've done several videos on my prior channel, Autoimmune Prepper. So, what am I talking about today when I say being prepared, your survival needs? When you look at what's going on today, how are you going to navigate these waters? So many people are on YouTube videos, TikTok, saying how they are going to just snap and lose their mind behind SNAP benefits not being available coming to a Walmart or a grocery store near you November 1st. Now, everybody doesn't get their benefits on the same day, but people are putting out these videos. They are forewarning the stores that, look, me and my family, we gonna eat. Dangerous times we're facing. So, back to talking about the prepper videos. For years and years, preppers have been talking about being prepared, having food, stockpiling food, supplies, and things of that nature for your family for times exactly like this. Now hindsight is 2020. Now you see what we were talking about. Having enough water, having enough food for your family, having enough medical supplies, just supplies, period. So now the time is up on us through this whole government shutdown where people are fearful that they won't be able to feed their families because they won't have the benefits. Had you been a person who listened when preppers were really putting this information out there to buy a little bit of extra in addition to what you were buying for your family um, as a whole, a little extra, you would be prepared for what is to come. You would have thought people would have kind of learned their lesson when C-19 hit. Lines were around the corner. People were trying to get food and the infamous toilet paper. So you would think people learn from that. But what happens is our memories forget. We get that memory lapse when everything goes back to being okay. They forget about how hard that time was and they fall back in to a convenient, comfortable, entitled lifestyle. Opposed to being, and I always preach this, be proactive opposed to being reactive. You want to be reactive so when things happen, you are already 10 steps behind. So, who knew the government was going to shut down? Who knew, even in that instance, that EBT SNAP was going to be put on pause? And who knows how long that could be for? That is why we always preached being prepared. You don't have to be an outright prepper, and I think and preppers got a bad rap. Nobody wanted to hear anything about a prepper, so you try to rename it and just called it something else to just to try to get through to people. Well, the days of trying to get through to people are kind of behind us now because now it's at the front door. It's at the steps. And it's here to say, listen, hindsight again is 2020. I wish I would have listened. Now, for some people, it's kind of too late. Now you do have the food banks, but who knows how long the food will be there for people to get food from there for their families. Who wants to stand in those long lines trying to get food? So I hope that this is another learning lesson. Again, everything we go through is a lesson and it's something for us to learn from. When C-19 hit, that was a learning lesson. People should have ramped up their stockpile, their emergency needs, not fall back into such a comfortable situation to where now there's another situation coming. And this situation is not going to be the last situation. There will be more down the line. And a lot of these are just test runs to see who can be controlled, who's going to be in a bind financially, food wise, and it's just going to turn into straight chaos. You don't want to be amongst the chaos. You want to be the person that's sitting at home with your family, knowing that you guys are good, you're going to be able to eat just fine because you were proactive, being prepared just in case another scenario happens. And when I say another scenario happens, another scenario is going to happen. But it's up to you. If you're the matriarch, if you're the main person in your family, you got to put your thinking cap on and you have to think outside of the box and you just got to stay ahead. This time you've got to know once you get, if you find yourself in a situation, you got to know once you come out of this situation, have a game plan at this point. At this point, everybody has to have a game plan. What are you going to do to keep your family safe? What are you going to do to keep your family fed? I will come back and do videos on if power goes out, grid goes down, you have canned goods, you have food that you can cook. How are you going to cook it when there's no electricity? I'm going to show you how you can. I hope you take notes and I hope you go and get the supplies. It's not expensive and it's very necessary that you get these supplies just little by little. But again, time is of the essence at this point because things are going awry left and right. Let me tell you how desperate people are and bold and scandalous. So, I have a family member that lives in an apartment complex. They came out one morning, the tire was gone off of the car. Like, who steals a tire? The car left jacked up. I don't know, the dummies didn't even take the jack. But the car left jacked up, tire gone, lugs on the ground. People, we are living in times where people are desperate. And when people don't have anything to lose, they lose it. And you don't want anybody losing it on you. You don't want to be out there in that snap demic that's getting ready to take place. There are going to be a bunch of angry people in the stores. Personally, I don't know if I owned a store because my thought process is this. You're going to the stores are going to lose money either way. So either you shut your doors, put your bars down and close your store for the time being, no shopping, or your doors stay open, people come in there, take what they want, steal what they want, and they out. Either way, the store is going to lose money. So I don't know. If I was a store owner, I think I'd rather lose money by my store being closed than people bum rushing it, demolishing it, and taking everything they need, because then that's extra on you, the store owner. Then they got to call the insurance company, and then that's an insurance claim, and that's just a whole nightmare. Then your store is all messed up. You got to reorganize it, restock it, because it's not like they're gonna come in there and grocery shop, in a kind, mild manner. No, they're gonna rush in, snatch everything out, and get out of there before the police gets there, if the police even comes. Because there's a thing that says who's gonna save you at some point in time. Police are gonna be too overwhelmed with a whole bunch of other calls from all over the place, with this going on, this theft going on over here, this Walmart is being raided, this Target is being raided, this grocery store is being raided. There's only so many police um, that can go out and help. So when I say I want you to snap, what I'm talking about is I want you to focus on your survival needs and preparedness. So when this blows over, you are ready for the next epidemic or the next downfall or shutdown, or however you want to categorize it. You want to make sure that you are prepared for it. It's not a game, and this is not fear mongering. This is just a little bit of my thought process, a little bit of education, a little bit of reinforcement, reminding you of just the timelines, just to venture back to C-19. That came just like out of nowhere. Many people were not prepared. Us preppers were prepared. Some of us even stepped our game up even more. Now, you have a lot of videos where they talk about planting and growing your own food. If you have the ability to do that, I recommend you do so. If you do, gardening, it takes a lot of work. So some are able to do it, some are not. Even if you live in an apartment, there are gadgets where you can grow food inside of the apartment. You might have a balcony, you can grow it out on the balcony. But I encourage you to look into doing something like that. But anyway, I don't want to keep you long. I just wanted to come on here and do this video because who's not talking about November 1st? And so this was just my time to come back in, for those who watch my channel, to give you some ideas, some motivation, something to tug on you to say, hey, this is happening now. C-19 already happened. Here we are now, government shutdown. No EBT SNAP for a lot of families. They don't already have food put up. What are they going to do? They talking about bum rushing these stores. You don't want to be that person. So learn from this and be prepared for the next, because there will be a next. Just know that. And you want to be the person that is sitting, looking at it on TV, not in the midst of it, because it's going to be very dangerous. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. If you were a store owner, I'm curious. If you were a store owner, what would you do? Would you close your doors until this blows over? Or would you stay open and take your chances? Knowing what's being said in these streets, in these YouTube and TikTok, Instagram streets. So anyway, give the video a thumbs up. Comment in the comment section. Just say hi if you want to just say hi. Please keep your comments clean and informational. Some information people can use. If you have suggestions, if you know of food banks, whatever city or state you are in, put that out there so people who might be looking for food banks or alternative ways to feed their families during this shutdown, it'll be helpful. So, see you guys in the next video. Thanks.